Bum, 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 the theatre mum. Bum. Hello everyone, I'm Holly Lucas and this is the Theatre Mum. Hooray!
Woo-hoo.
Welcome back if you're here again. If you're joining us for the first time, hello. This podcast basically takes a look at all the jobs you can do within the performing or creative industry that you probably hadn't thought of before, because it's not just about the West End and Hollywood, you know. So my guest today is a pocket rocket performer.
Oh, stop it.
Who I met working on the entertainments team at a theme park, which will remain unnamed.
Probably for the best.
Yes. Only to discover she also co-runs her own theatre company that create brand new original musicals that have had a lot of success all over the place. It's Maddie Bell.
Hello. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you. I feel amazing now.
Oh, fantastic. That's it, the end.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
I'm off now.
Yeah.
Lovely. To warm us up, I have some very quick this or that questions.
Oh, lovely.
Which are unrelated to
Great.
performing in any way.
Okay.
I have started with basic bitch questions.
I'm here for that.
Cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Tea or coffee?
A coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
An unlimited supply of books or an unlimited supply of movies?
Books. All the way.
Ooh,
Books, yeah.
Very good. Teleportation or invisibility?
Teleportation. Easy to get to places.
Wow. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm small enough already, so I feel like I'm invisible most of the time. So I can nip in and out of places without people noticing.
Nice. Pirate or ninja?
Oh, a pirate. Come on.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Time travel to the past or time travel to the future?
Past. I don't want to know what's around the corner.
We don't need to know what's coming. It's looking very questionable.
If it's anything like today, oh.
Pet dragon or a pet unicorn?
Oh, a dragon. Yeah.
Now, full size or miniature? Because my husband said he would have a miniature dragon.
Well, I guess it depends on how you keep it, right? Because that's going to be a big dragon is going to be a lot of work.
That's true, but you could fly a lot of places.
Yeah, a small one wouldn't do me any good for transport. I'll go big. I'll go big.
All right. Narnia or Neverland?
Narnia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I you know what? Because I grew up on that book and those films.
Nice.
Whereas for some reason Peter Pan I wasn't as into. So.
And also Neverland is full of children.
Yeah.
That's enough to put me off.
And all the mythical creatures in Narnia are just cool.
Oh,
just
yeah.
very cool.
You know, it doesn't matter about that Snow Queen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Prince Caspian's there. I'm here for that.
That's
Bit
fine
of Ben
by me.
Barnes.
Fine. Vampire or werewolf?
Oh,
This is my Twilight question,
Yeah.
really.
you know what? Werewolf.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're talking Twilight, though, it'd be vampire, then for the second film, werewolf, then back to vampire for the rest of them.
She's very indecisive.
Yeah, I can't make up my mind.
That's fair. My last one is, would you prefer to be able to talk to animals or understand any foreign language?
Oh, I'll go language, because I think I can already talk to my dog.
They already understand you.
I'm one with them.
Bum, 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 bum. Right, now I actually have some serious questions.
Okay, we're about to get deep.
This is serious business. Now I met Maddie on the entertainments team at theme parks, so
Yes.
I am going to start with that because that's how I know you.
Please.
Tell us what your job on the entertainments team entails. What sort of things might you do each day?
So, at the specific theme park that I work at, I do a lot of mascot work. So, kind of jumping into characters and stuff like that and bringing those to life and, entertaining children, particularly in this theme park.
These are the big costume characters.
Yeah. So, sort of big mascots that you might see in, like, American football, sort of,
Yes, or on popular children's television programmes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, so those kind of things. And then I also sometimes get to be a VIP host, so we'll take any kind of VIPs who pay for, like, extra packages and stuff around the park, so they can skip queues and stuff like that and just make sure they get from ride to ride and guide them through their day. And then also we get to do the shows, which is how I met you, of course, Holly.
Yes. So the shows we did they're kind of like 30-minute mini musicals, really.
Kind of like a panto-esque vibe, isn't it?
Very panto.
Yeah.
The last one was very panto.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we do like a 15-minute interactive show with the children, which is more sort of
Like a pre-show sort of thing, isn't it?
Hosting some child entertainment. Somehow we've ended up doing that.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite thing out of like the stuff that you do on the entertainment team?
I like shaking it up. So my weeks can be very kind of sporadic, which I enjoy a bit more, I think. And it's quite nice through the seasons. There's sort of changes in the characters that are around the park and stuff like that. So that's nice too. But one of my favourite things to do is, especially as a character, get to do like a walkabout, where there's kind of, rather than like a meet and greet, which is where families will queue and then you take a picture with them, give the kids a hug, and then they move on. Whereas with walkabout, you actually get to freely move around the park as a character. And you can kind of not mess around, but you can have a bit more freedom in terms of like, you know, if a kid's got a teddy bear or something, I can take that teddy bear and pretend it's flying and run away with it.
Be a little menace.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Yes. I would say it's using your improvisation skills.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you do a lot of the mascot work. How do you find that compared to performing as yourself?
Yeah, it's very different. It took me a while to get into it. I think the first few years I did it, I don't think, looking back, I was probably absolutely rubbish at it.
Love to see some videos of
that. I would not. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. But I think the more you kind of do it and the more you get used to like the area you're in, you can be a bit more wacky with it. And I think as well, the more I kind of did acting on the side, especially in theatre, the bigger I found I could be, especially with mascot work and character work. The bigger you are, usually the better. So it is very different. It's obviously you don't speak for character work, so it's all expression through, you know, gesture and movement in your body and stuff. And sometimes it's very frustrating when you're trying to, you know, convey something to someone and then they're not getting it, but it happens.
They don't understand your sign language.
I'm like, can you not understand that I'm trying to tell you right now that this kid is tripping me up? Like, but it's very different. But it's kind of like I was saying to you earlier, I'd much rather be doing that than being sat down, you know, for a day job. For me personally, I can't sit still, so it's kind of the ideal job, really.
Yes. And also I guess in the mascot you can be dead behind the eyes.
Oh, I really am. A lot of the time
when you're having a hard day, you don't have to put a smile on your face.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day, they're like, do you smile in there? And I'm like,
I used to.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you get the same performing buzz or adrenaline from doing that costume work as you do from like doing a theatre show or something?
I used to. I think it's died down a little bit more recently because I've been doing a lot more of my company stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas back when it was kind of like a more of a balance or more heavy-sided on character stuff, I found more of a sort of buzz and energy in that. But I think now that I've done it so much as well, especially recently, it's kind of become a bit normal for me. Well, not that that's a bad thing, but
it's just second nature.
Exactly. I'm that good that I just get on and I just do it, and I'm like, oh, it's just another day at the office, isn't it? So yeah, it's kind of it used to really give me a buzz, and it still does every now and then, especially when I make a kid like really laugh or really smile, and especially parents as well. When the parents really enjoy it, it is a wonderfully rewarding job. It doesn't sound like it is, but it is.
Also, performing to children is a totally different vibe to performing to adults. Do you have a preference?
I like doing both. I think it's difficult because the audiences are so different, like especially that massive age gap between kids and adults. And I think obviously in that regard the material is obviously very different too. I wouldn't be able to do, well, I mean we probably could, but my theatre company aren't catered towards kids at all. But maybe we could potentially one day make a show for kids, but that again would be a whole different kettle of fish. And I think it's really interesting because, you know, think about the show that we did together. It's very, you know, as we kind of said, like very pantomime, very ironically on the nose, but very loud, and you know the jokes are they're very rubbish. Whereas with adults, you've got to actually. You got to be quite locked in and quite smart about your comedy and stuff like that. And also like you can play with more, I think, with adults as well, in terms of, you know, darkness and layers, and you know, there's a lot more you can do with adults than obviously with kids. You've got to play it safe a lot more, which is, you know, fine, and it's fun, and it's nice to do that, because it can brighten up your day as well.
Yeah, and they are probably a more receptive audience when they're children.
Gosh, yeah.
They think
my goodness,
you're the absolute bee's knees.
Yeah, it's when kids ask for like autographs, and like, I know you guys had some interesting interactions with some kids as well, and they really get into it too. When the villain comes on stage, my goodness, do they scream?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I was going to say they don't heckle as much as adults, but actually they probably more, more so actually. Yeah. Have you got any funny stories from your time on the entertainments team? You mentioned one to me when we were working about one of your first times in a costume where you fell over.
Oh, the trip. Trip. There was this situation where...
This is a risky business being
a mascot. Yeah, it is. There was a situation where the kind of area that the characters would come out of, in this particular character that I was playing, the flooring where we would get ready had some tiles, and the tiles were kind of like plastic tiles. They were kind of coming up off the floor a bit. And I'd mentioned it before to people higher up to sort of say, like, are you able to sort this out? Because, like, you know, the minders, who are the people, for those of you who don't know, the minders are people who are not in costume and just kind of make sure the characters are okay and kind of guide people through what to do. They were tripping up on it. And I was like, this is going to be, you know, someone's going to make an absolute fool of themselves here and trip up, and you know,
God, who is that going to be?
Goodness knows. Anyway, so there was one situation where, as you can imagine, you know, went out, the tile happened to catch my foot, and down I went, and it was awful. The truth was revealed. Let's put it that way. And bless him, my minder at the time very quickly managed to get me back up. But the other character I was with at the time, I'm good friends with them, and they were absolutely wetting themselves.
They were no help at all.
No, to be fair,
they couldn't help you. To be fair,
they probably couldn't do much, but it was pretty appalling. But I don't think anyone found out about that.
Oh no!
Or they
we may have just revealed this.
It's fine. It was years ago. All they did, and they just didn't mention it because we eventually managed to sort it out ourselves.
Must have been caught on camera somewhere.
Yeah, it does happen though. That's the thing. So
accidents happen.
Yeah,
just have to be quick on the ball. I guess.
Exactly.
Quickly hide them.
Quick, it's fine. Nothing's happening. It's all good. It's all good.
Are there any negatives working on the entertainments team at a theme park that you find? It, you know, I mean, I personally would say it's minimum wage, you know. It's not great pay, and you do work really hard.
Yeah, it's I think that's the main thing, is that it's a lot of physical effort you put into these, you know, these character
sometimes
roles.
Long hours,
yeah,
sometimes no hours.
Yeah, it's really sporadic in terms of what your work is as well, what your hours are, what your week looks like. It changes week to week, day to day,
because a lot of theme parks are seasonal as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, there's long periods where they're closed, or you know, long periods where they're open every day, and you know, so I think that's the main thing, is that I feel like sometimes I'm, you know, putting in a lot of physical effort, and unfortunately the reward is not reflective of that.
My bills are still not being paid.
But, again, it's, you know, a catch-22, because that's also why I love the job. So it's, you know, it's really tough, because it's I don't want to not be physical, because then I'll look rubbish as I do the job. But then you know, the less energy I put in, the more I feel like, this is I'm getting paid X amount.
Yes, should I be putting in this much effort?
No, exactly. It's like,
but also it's still a performing job in a way.
Yeah,
so you're kind
exactly.
of like, well, I'd rather be doing this than...
And also the sporadic hours are good in terms of I can book time off really easily.
Yeah. If you get other work in, you can easily say, well, I'm on a 0-hour contract, so I'm not free. And they've got plenty of other people to cover.
Yeah, covers easy to find. So yeah, it's a real kind of, you know, back and forth of, you know, do I stay? Do I go? No, I'm gonna stay, because it does do what I need it to do. Yeah.
Aside from your day job, as entertainer extraordinaire, you also run your own theatre company. Tell us about your company. Yeah,
so we're OnTheNose Productions, on the nose with no gaps, because we're different. We're not like other girls.
Our noses are attached.
Yeah. We're an all-female feminist comedy theatre company, and we write our own original dark comedic musicals.
I'm hooked.
Yeah, we hope so. That's the goal. But we formed at our university, which was the University of Chichester, doing a module in our third year where we could choose whoever we wanted to work with, and we basically had an hour of stage time. They're like, you can do whatever you want on the hour when it happens, with like, I think it was 3-4 weeks of like rehearsal time.
They didn't give you any like themes or...
No, it was literally whatever we wanted it to be. So it was just start from scratch, come up with what you want. And the way it kind of happened was we came together, we knew we wanted to work together, and then there was a session where we had an hour to just make like a 5-minute whatever, just try something.
Yeah.
And we'd all kind of discussed that we liked musicals, but none of us had written any music. We're not very good, like, well, not that we're not very good singers, we are good singers, but we're not like, you know, musical theatre trained or anything like that. But there was a piano in the corner of the room, and we thought, you know what, Emily, who's part of the company, she knows how to play piano, let's just go down and give it a go, and then we know if it doesn't work, we do something else. And in the hour we wrote our first song, which is called We Are Women, and it's just this really ironic song about how we're women, and we sing about our boob sizes and stuff like that. And we performed it to the rest of the class, and we got a standing ovation just for that. And we were like, we need to keep doing this. So we made our first musical in those 3 or 4 weeks, however long it was. It might have been more, I can't remember.
That is a short amount of time for
it
musical.
it was a lot. But it was a very sort of self-aware, ironic musical about, it's called 60 Minutes of Mood Swings, which sets the tone, I think. Yes. And it was about a group of women who go to this boot camp to become better women, whatever that means in society's standards. And we had like a sort of a cappella style ballad to Andrew Tate. It was like, there was a song called She's a 10-butt, which was literally every lyric was she's a 10-butt, and then something ridiculous about one of ourselves. So it was very sort of self-deprecating, but in like a, you know, kind of positive, ironic way. And it went down really well. So then we thought, you know what, let's see where this can take us. So we did a few fringes, and now we're on our second show, which is really cool.
Great. Was that in your last year at uni, or?
Yes, yeah.
When you finished 60 Minutes of Mood Swings, what was your plan with it?
When we made it, obviously it was for our course. So it was very stylized for that specific kind of marking criteria that we were working at, which had to be very political and hit these certain points. But when we got the reception that we did, which we weren't expecting, we knew we wanted to do it again. And we also, I think we knew beforehand that we knew we had something good. And Brighton Fringe happened to be not long after that. I think it was we performed it in November, and obviously Brighton Fringe is in May, so we were like, why not do it? So we did Brighton Fringe.
Did it go through any redevelopment for that?
Yeah, because a lot of the jokes, well, not a lot of the jokes, but some of them were kind of catered towards the university audience. So I think we mentioned one of our lecturers in one of the songs for some reason. So obviously that had to change, because no one would know what we're talking about. And we just made it, we had more time as well. Yeah. So we, you know, tightened things up where we wanted to tighten up. We added a song. We wrote a new song for it, which was very needed, because it was before that it was an argument scene, and it was just awful. It was so bad. And we were like, how can we sort this out? Like a song.
And now it's an argument song.
Yeah. So it kind of was just tightening it up, sort of adjusting the bits that weren't quite, you know, as sort of tight as we wanted it to be. And then we took it to Brighton Fringe, and then we also took it to Edinburgh Fringe that same year, because again we just kind of thought it's doing all right, let's give it another go. I think we only did, I think it was 5 shows in Edinburgh Fringe, and then we did Brighton Fringe again the following year, and we didn't do Edinburgh Fringe because it's expensive, very expensive.
Yes.
But and then we got to a point where we were like, you know what, this is great, but we think we've got something else now that we want to do. So it was nice to kind of have the next step, which was our next show, ironically.
Yeah, and at least now you've done one.
Yeah.
You kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Inverted commas.
Yeah. We were like, we think we've got something here.
We've tested this out a few times, so I think we could do another one now.
We've got a style.
That's
why not?
Fun. What is the process of putting on your work in a Fringe festival, and how did you find that process?
It's a long process, but it's also not that long.
Okay.
It's really like unnecessarily complicated, but it is worth doing 100%. So in terms of putting it on at and all fringes are different as well, which is annoying, but if the first thing you got to do is find your venue, and that depends on your show and how many people you think you can get in your audience, and also how big you need your stage to be. So it's you're kind of self-producing in a way, because you've got to find your own venue yourself, unless you've got a producer on board. Obviously we don't.
Fantastic if you've got the money for a producer.
Exactly. We don't. So you have to know your show very, very well, and your performers, and what you can do with it. And then it's, the entire registration process is quite long, but they do sort of have a very helpful kind of website guide through application sort of process, where you just fill it in as you go. But yeah, just getting the venue is probably not the hardest bit, but the most crucial sort of bit, because once you've done that, then you hit the ground running, and you go because then it's about your marketing. So you've got to get your copyright, you've got to get your press release sorted, your marketing packs, all that kind of stuff, which I actually really like doing. I'm a bit weird like that, but
it's another creative thing to do, though, isn't it?
I just make it look pretty, and then I'm like, look at this, it's lovely. But yeah, it's just talking about your own show, which is lovely as well. But yeah, and then actually getting it to the Fringe is the next thing as well, because we're very lucky in that, for some reason, we decided when we first did our first show, we had I think it was like £300 we could spend, the uni gave us. They're like, you can buy some set, do whatever you want. And we were like, okay, let's not do that. So we didn't have any set really, apart from a piano and a guitar. We kept it very, very minimal, and then like a little bit of, I thought it was like a suitcase, I think, and props, but they all fit in the suitcase.
Kind of stuff you already would have lying around the house.
Exactly. Yeah, it was very, very basic. I think that's something that just made everything a bit easier for us, and I think it's kind of implemented into our style now as well, because our most recent show, Manifest, our only set is 4 stalls as well, which are currently sat in the boot of my car. Like, it's, it's literally how small it is. But I know a lot of theatre companies that I've spoken to, friends of and stuff, they really love set, and it's kind of their downfall a little bit, because as soon as they want to do Fringe, they're like, okay, so we need to hire a van, we need to know where to park the van, we need to get someone to help us unload the van, then we need to set up in 5 minutes, because you get a 5-minute sort of, well, depending on what venue you're in again, but our Edinburgh Fringe venue, our first year, we had a 5-minute get in and a 5-minute get out.
So that is not a lot of time.
If you've got lots of set, you're stuffed.
So did they have another I presume they had another show
crammed,
side of you?
Absolutely crammed in. So we actually had situations as well where you'd wait outside and you'd look at your watch and you'd be like, we're 2 minutes into our get in time and they've not finished, and you're just like, what do we do? But luckily it's fine. You make it work. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like when you're about to go on stage and you're like, I don't know my first line, I don't know it, and then you go on and it's just there.
Go and it's magic.
Yeah, and you're like, oh thank gosh. So it's very similar to that, but yeah, it's a lot of prep, and then the actual doing the show you don't even remember because you're so tired from doing all the prep. You get to the end and you're like, did we do that? I can't remember. When's the Fringe? Oh, we've done it. Okay.
And do those venues, when you hire them, do they come with the tech crew that you can utilise, or can you bring your own?
It's dependent. Some places do. You probably will have to pay for them, is the only thing. Which is, makes sense. People got to get paid for the work they're doing. Or you can sometimes bring your own as well. But it's entirely dependent on the venue, on who they have, if they've got anyone. Sometimes they don't have anyone, and you need your own techs. I remember our first show, we brought in people who already knew our show, because we were like, that'll just help our tech sort of time, because you get obviously set time for tech as well. So we thought, let's just get people in who know it, and then we don't have to worry about literally doing a run or anything like that unless we really want to. We've done one of our shows recently. We did with some completely new techs who we'd never met before, and they were fantastic. And yeah, when we do Edinburgh next year, we'll have some completely new techs as well, which will be fun. I think we're getting to a point now where, because we obviously know what we're doing, or in terms of our show and our characters and what marks we're hitting and stuff like that, it's easier to sort of communicate with them because they obviously know what they're doing from their sort of tech perspective. They just don't know the show. So it's just that communication, which is it's interesting. It's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
All technicians are very different. I
found. Yes. Yeah.
We've different ways of working.
We've had some horror stories. Yeah.
Oh, yes. With the aim of being as open as possible, is it financially easy to put on a show at Fringe? And are you able to actually make any profit from it?
No, is my initial answer.
End.
No and yes. For us, we had a loss for our first Edinburgh Fringe, but we went in with the expectation of that because we were, fresh out of university, new company, new show, first show. Didn't know if it was going to land in Edinburgh, which is where none of our friends or family were as well. But with Brighton Fringe, we did profit. So it's yes and no, quite literally. Yeah, we profited both times with Brighton Fringe, I believe. And it is very tough. It is very expensive, especially Edinburgh Fringe. They've really
the prices for that have gone absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it's insane, and it's such a shame as well because Fringe theatre is obviously it's the start of something, and I think it's really tough for people like us who are kind of starting out to make
or just don't have the money and the privilege to be able to just go up there.
It's such a shame because I think theatre should be as accessible as possible for people watching it, people performing it, people involved in it in any way, and I just think at the moment it just isn't. But Fringe theatre it's always meant to have been that. And it still is in some regards. There are still lots of supporters of Fringe theatre, and I mean that's where like Six the Musical started out at Edinburgh Fringe, as did Operation Mincemeat, I think.
Fleabag,
Taskmaster I think even started at Fringe.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so loads of, don't quote me on that, but loads of amazing successful shows and musicals and such have started at Fringe, and that's the thing. It is a starting point. I think a lot of people always forget that. Fringe isn't always necessarily a finalised kind of thing.
And I mean, if you see any videos of Six from its Fringe days, it's quite different now.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's some of the same songs, a similar vibe, but I'm sure one of the queens had a totally different song.
Interesting.
So it's entirely different now, however many years
I think that's the thing. I always see... For us, Fringe is kind of like a stepping stone, or I see it as a stepping stone anyway, in terms of, like, I hope that will propel us to the next thing. I do that with everything though, to be honest. I'm like, oh, this thing will take me to the next thing, and then we'll just see what happens.
And at least you've done one where now you can put on your new marketing, producers of
5-star
60
show,
minutes of work
60
from
minutes.
last year, bringing you a brand new
brand new boy band musical. And you do rinse those reviews, let me tell you.
There's so many stars on those posters.
It's the same 5 stars. I just copied and pasted them.
I just took a slightly different word from their sentence. Tell us about the experience of going to Edinburgh Fringe. So if you were going, because obviously you went as a performer, did you actually manage to spend any time seeing other shows whilst you were up there, or were you in marketing hell while you were up there? What's it like? Because I've actually never been. Every year I say, yes, I'll definitely go, and then it gets to the summer and I go, oh no, I've not planned anything.
I mean, when you go, you understand why it's been called the biggest sort of Fringe theatre sort of event in the world, because it's huge. It is so big. It's so busy. There's too much to watch, too much to kind of like try and filter through and find something that you want to see. We went up for I think I said earlier, I think it's the 5 days. I might be wrong about that. I think we did 5 shows. So we were there for a week, I think, in total. And we did try and see some shows. I saw one that was really good, and it was in the same venue as us, so we just waited a couple of hours after our show and then went and saw it because that was just easier for us. But luckily, I say luckily, you usually do your one show a day, and then that it takes up an hour usually of your day, and then the rest of the day you've got to either be marketing for that show or see what you can see. It is crazy though. Like you see so much stuff, and also you're walking, and you're trying to flyer, and everyone else is trying to fly her, and you end up just swapping flyers.
Just arms full of other people's
like,
flyers.
So much paper. I don't know what to do with
I
all
don't know
this.
what I'm going to see now.
Yeah, like, some of these I don't even understand. I don't know. But yeah, it's such an experience. It's so worth doing. I've made it sound absolutely insane, but that is it. It is insane. But
My
in the best way.
husband did say, like, you know, it's kind of expected. If you're not enjoying a show, you can leave. Like,
yeah, oh God, yeah, and they do, let me tell you.
God, I would just feel awful. I feel like, well, I've paid for a ticket. I've got to stay to the end, even if I hate it.
No, it's very, it's very casual theatre as well. Like, you can go in, spend 5 minutes in there and go, you know what, it's not for me.
Not for me.
I've never done that personally, because I'm a bit like you. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
I can't do that. I know how they would feel seeing those people leaving. Did you have anybody during your shows coming in and out?
We had one person leave during I think it was like our second Edinburgh show.
Was it a man?
Of course
it was.
And
feminist theatre.
He came back. He needed a wee. No, honestly, I was like, my guy, I really thought...
Oh my God, he's come back?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, yeah. I was like, at least he came back. He could have just left. Like,
yeah.
But I've heard absolute horror stories of, you know, people coming in, seeing the first 2 minutes and then leaving, and I'm like, it's not even like enough time for you to even understand like what the show's about.
Was it quite a big venue that you had? A little.
I think it was. I want to say it was like an 80-seater. So it wasn't the smallest, but it wasn't the biggest either. It was quite a safe venue for us. But we didn't fill it. It was our first year, you know.
Yeah.
I think our biggest audience was 30 something, which you know what, we were very happy with actually.
Yeah.
And our smallest was 7, which again we were actually very happy with, because we'd also heard horror stories of people having no audience and just literally just having to do the show and just treating it as like a practice run.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of Fringe. You know, it's all about marketing. It's all about being on at the right time in the right place, and you know, making sure your show stands out. It's a risk, but it's, you know, if it's
a fun
plays
risk.
the way, exactly. If it plays the way you want it to play, it can be really fun. And even if it doesn't play the way you want it to play, it's still worth doing, I think, because it's such an experience.
Yeah, and I feel like as long as you go mentally prepared for this,
absolutely,
this is how it could be.
Yeah.
I might have 2 people in the audience, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I think if you go with these big glamorous expectations,
yeah,
you might be surprised.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well, because when we did Brighton Fringe beforehand, we had really good audience numbers.
Yeah.
But we had one reviewer in, and we didn't get the best review. I think we got, well, it wasn't a bad review. I think it was like 3 stars or something.
Yeah.
And we were a bit like, bit knocked down. But we were like, okay, we've got time before Edinburgh Fringe. Let's, you know, boost it up. And although our numbers weren't as good in Edinburgh in terms of like audience, our reviews were better. We got we got our first 5-star review there and stuff like that.
And so also you didn't know anybody up there.
Exactly.
So that's
exactly
almost even more gratifying for you.
Exactly. So that was nice. Yeah. It's, you know, swings and roundabouts, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like reviews are so opinion based.
Oh my God, honestly. Theatre is so subjective. I mean, all art form is, isn't it? So you know, take it with a pinch of salt.
The next show, Manifest, tell us what that's about.
It is my favourite show so far.
I'm so
excited.
Of the 2. Just from the photos.
I know,
I'm so excited.
It's kind of crazy. It's called Manifest, a boy band fantasy. And it is us company of 4 women playing the boy band of every teenage girl's dreams, basically. So there's sort of drag that we sort of have costume-wise, but it kind of explores the toxic masculinity and the pressures that has on not only young men but also teenage girls as well. Yeah. Especially in terms of like the influence boy bands have on teenage girls, and you know, the kind of lyrics that those boy band songs put out are kind of, you know, putting out that the girl they're singing to is perfect, but then also I think One Direction says something about I know you've never loved your dimples or your thighs, like all this kind of stuff about like body image, and it's, you know, kind of looking at that but also in a very self-aware, ironic way, because obviously we're 4 very insecure women, because women are incredibly insecure, singing about, you know, girls. It's just, it's very kind of self-aware, but we jump between playing the boy band and the teenage fans, so that's really interesting too. So we kind of we're dressed in the the boy band garb, but we play the teenage girls as well, which is, I've been told, hilarious to witness.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's got all the, you know, classic boy band choreography, original songs,
and 4 stalls. So
exactly, and that
you
is the
know
one
they've
thing.
got to do that key change and stand up.
Absolutely. If you want to come and see it for any reason, it is the 4 stalls. Let me tell you, that is the best
They
part.
are acting their arse off.
The stallography is crazy. Let me tell you.
And that one, have you done that one at Brighton Fringe before?
No. So we're doing it at Brighton Fringe this year. Well, say this year, coming up this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, Edinburgh Fringe as well, which is amazing. But we first performed it at the Nest in Chichester, which is its newest venue, and we were part of the artist development program. So this opened, oh god, I think it was 2 years ago now. That's awful to think about. But it kind of came around at the perfect time. We just sort of decided that we were somewhat finished with 60 Minutes for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we just done a sort of cabaret style performance of the songs from that show, but dressed as Matty Healy from the 1975. So we all had the suits, the sunglasses, we were pretending we were smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol.
Fantastic.
As you do.
That was the natural next step,
Of course,
actually.
of course. Feminist musical to that, of course. But from that, we were like, it's really fun to pretend to be awful men. And so we were like, what?
There's a show in
this. There's something here. And naturally, the next progression was boy bands. Let's do that. So very, very quick. I think it was actually the same day we did that performance. We opened up a laptop, we Googled boy bands, and we pulled out the characters. So we have the bad boy, the sporty boy, the romantic boy, and the other boy, because there's always just one other.
Other.
Yeah, the other, the Niall Warren.
Yeah.
Sorry, Niall. We love you now. And very quickly the material just started to come to us, and the songs are as cliche and pop bubblegum-esque as you can imagine. And yeah, so we jumped on the artist development programme at Chichester Festival Theatre, and they loved the idea and gave us the kind of time and the money and, you know, the resources we needed, and the sort of contacts we needed as well to just make the show what it is now, which is a 60-minute, you know, banging musical.
Yeah. What the artist development program?
Yes, yeah.
Is that something where you approached them? Did they approach you? Were you already in contact?
So we approached them. We applied through them. But
okay.
Esther, another company member, she was part of another program there at the time. So she heard about it through them basically, and she was like, well, maybe we could, you know, we've got an idea. Let's try and put it forward. We just need an idea to apply. And it was a really easy interview process. It was literally just in a room for, I think it was like 4 hours with all these other artists who'd got through to that stage.
Yeah.
Because we had to kind of put in like a, you know, written application and stuff.
Yeah.
And then once we got through that, we were in the room, and it was just everyone giving a 5-minute pitch of their idea. And we thought, there's no point in us kind of, you know, standing and presenting something. Let's just sing a song.
Well,
so
that's what you did at uni, and that obviously worked.
And
so.
so we were like, let's do that again. And yeah, they loved it. And then so it was originally a 10-month program, and then they extended it because it was doing so well. And they also found out they were getting the Nest bill, which is the venue we ended up performing at. So they were like, you know what, we're going to keep you on, and then you can, you know, perform your shows for the first time in an actual venue. Yeah. Because it was meant to just end in an R&D. So it was really lovely that it was extended, because our R&D was so different.
Really?
Oh my goodness, it's such a different show. Very, very different. But I'm so happy with where it is now. Like we needed that R&D to get to where we are.
To develop it into something
absolutely
else that works. So there must be so many different arts funding sort of things around.
Yeah.
Not just, you don't just have to go to the Arts Council and hope and pray that they're going to give you.
I think, if you're developing work, you know, you don't always, because Arts Council is quite difficult to...
It's quite a difficult
to
application.
Do. Yeah. But yeah, there are other programs like the CFT kind of did, where they, you know, gave us a grant, and also they provide you with the space you need and stuff like that, which in some ways is more valuable than just the money sometimes. So yeah, it is funding is tough, but there are other means and ways of creating work. So I think programs like that are actually a really good resource.
What was it like creating your second show compared to your first show? Did you learn anything from the first one that you were then able to apply to the second one?
Yeah. I think it was a very different process, because obviously the first one we created at uni with a very strict time constraint. And although there was a time constraint on the second one as well, it was a 10-month long one. So it was, compared to like 3 weeks or whatever,
that's leisurely.
It was lovely. But we learned a lot as a company and how we worked as a company as well. And we kind of did through the program as well. So prior to the program, we all kind of wrote everything together in a room together. We didn't touch it outside of a rehearsal room. Whereas with this one, I was very like tetchy to just write. I was like, I just want to keep writing scripts, dialogue, whatever. And so I kind of would sneak away and write scenes and bring it back. And the girls would be like, yeah, I love this bit. That bit needs to move. This is great. And then Holly and Emily would write the music. So we kind of separated the roles a little bit more within our company, which I think, you know, is really helpful, because it means you're not all having to focus on everything all the time.
Yes. It's probably more beneficial overall.
Yeah.
Yet still it's quite a collaborative
absolutely. And, you know,
between you all.
we always share initial ideas and, you know, initial kind of like workings, just to see where it's at and if we're liking the direction it's going in. And then everyone's, you know, absolutely welcome to chip in and say, I don't like that, or, you know, it's
cut.
Yeah. What are you doing?
This is shit.
No, but it's been a lot more collaborative in that way, which is nice.
How are you finding planning sort of the Fringe stuff this time round?
A lot easier. Yeah.
You know what you're doing now.
Yeah, well, it kind of is that. It's very much also Esther and Holly are our kind of co-producers at the moment, so they're doing all the kind of sort of admin, quote unquote admin stuff, where they're, you know, ringing up venues and trying to find out the best venue for us and looking at pricing and stuff like that. So that it's been easier in terms of like, again, we've been working on this show a lot longer than we worked on 60 Minutes of Mood Swings as well. It's been like 2 years now, and we're a lot more confident in this show as well. We know it really, really works. Not that 60 Minutes didn't work, but this is so much more like specific, and I think marketing wise, all I need to say is it's a boy band played by women, and people are like, oh, that sounds hilarious.
Yes.
Whereas with the other one, it was like, oh, it's a feminist musical where we're women, and it's like it's a boot camp, and it's like blah, blah. Whereas with this, that's all I need to say, and people are like, oh, okay, cool.
The pitch is really easy.
Yeah, it's really great.
That would be so much easier at the Fringe when you're handing out your leaflets and going, it's a boy band played by women.
Also, we can dress up as the boys and hand out that's the plan.
Perfect.
Just walk around as the boys.
That is a great idea.
Because we met a drag king who was doing the same thing the first time we did Edinburgh Fringe, and we were like, that is genius. And so we kind of stole that from them. We're gonna do that as well. So
maybe you'll see them again this time.
Yeah, well, I actually saw them at Edinburgh this year, because I went just to watch some stuff this year, and I was so tempted to be like, I love you and your work, and you've inspired us to do this. But I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that right now.
I'm too shy.
Yeah. There were loads of people around. I was like, I can't do this right now. Also, they'd hate me for it, so that's not.
They'd be like, copyright.
Yeah.
How dare you? Are you currently working on anything new?
I am. Yeah. So the other members of the company don't know this yet, but I'm pitching to them in a couple weeks' time 2 new ideas for the next musical. Because I've kind of undertaken the role of like the lead writer of the group, and our dramaturg Ben, who actually was our uni lecturer, he's fantastic. He's kind of jumped on board with us ever since we've left uni, which is amazing. So he really understands us and our work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so in writing, because I've been rewriting Manifest just a little bit here and there for the upcoming Fringes, he's been having conversations with me about, you know, you need to start thinking about what's next. And we also had a producer from the CFT sort of say to us as well, like, you know, people are going to ask you what's next, not in terms of for Manifest for your next show.
Manifest was 2 years ago. Yeah. You've got something else.
Exactly. And we all kind of looked at each other like, uh-oh. But luckily I can't turn off. So I already had like 5 ideas in the bank, and I was like, I just need to figure out which ones are the ones that are, you know, or which one I should say is the one. So I'm stuck on 2 at the moment, but I'll be pitching them both, and I think I know which one is going to happen, but that all depends on if the girls latch onto it, or if,
Yeah.
because they might come up with something entirely different as well that is better.
They might. And actually, even if you've got two ideas, although one of them might not happen right now, that's something you can come back to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the thing is as well, I know we've only done 2 musicals, but the things within them were actually very relevant at the time, and still kind of are. Like, it was really ironic, the whole, I mentioned Andrew Tate earlier, that was when he was at his most relevant, was the first time we did that show. And then he kind of died down. And then when we retook it to Brighton Fringe the following year, he piped up again. And I was like, mate, legend for doing that. Thanks. Keeping us relevant.
Like the boy band thing, obviously K-pop Demon Hunters just came out. And the whole point of that is these bloody boy band.
Honestly.
Bunch of demons.
What are they doing? Taking all the attention, as per usual.
Rude. I feel like
you
need to make up some sort of review where you're like the K-pop of of Southampton or something.
See, here's the thing, we're not that good at dancing. Those K-pop guys know what they're doing with the dancing.
Damn.
My gosh, they're good. But yeah, no, so that's, hopefully we'll have the next one being written very soon, but just depends on if it's the right idea. We'll see.
Yes. What do you, as the writer, what's your sort of creative process coming up with something? Do you just have a light bulb moment? That's normally what happens to me.
Yeah, kind of. I'm a very sort of visual person as well. So I usually start off with a mood board, or like just big, like writing, just like big,
giant pages of writing,
bold words, just in my face. But yeah, I'll usually, there's a lot of research as well that I do, because I want to make sure a lot of the stuff we tackle is quite political. And I want to make sure I'm, doing it in the right way and in a sort of sensitive way while still being hilarious, because that's what it's all about.
It's truthful comedy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of that, and I trial and error a lot of stuff as well. So the way I like to write is I'll write loads of different chunks, not necessarily in order, not necessarily things that I think are necessarily like linked in any way, like it might not even be the same kind of idea, and then I'll just share it with the others or with anyone. I'll send it out to people, not just anyone, but like people that I trust, and get their responses from it, and then kind of go from there. Usually, well, I say not usually, well, most of the time it's always a positive response, but there's the occasion where they're like, I don't know, which is more helpful, I find sometimes.
Yes.
Because sometimes I go absolutely askew and I need someone to tell me what are you doing?
You've gone off the rails.
Yeah, this was a show about women and you're now talking about this. What is this?
Come back.
Yeah.
Come back to us. Because you've obviously got a day job as well as trying to co-run the theatre company, how much time are you able to devote to the theatre company? Is it enough time for you? Do you wish you could do more? Or it's very different depending on sort of shifts at work is the thing. So like there are times where the park will be closed for weeks and just open on the weekends, or vice versa. Well, not vice versa, but it'll be open all week, or so I just try and squeeze in whenever I can. Usually it's in the evenings is when I'll do most of my work, unless I have a day off, in which case I will spend that day off writing or researching or trying to sing upstairs in my room to myself and find some kind of tune that means something. So it's just absolutely dependent on when my free time is, and unfortunately a lot of that free time is time that I'm meant to be having off. But resting.
Yeah, it doesn't exist for me. But I like being busy, and it's stuff that I want to be doing. If it
doesn't really feel like work.
Yeah, exactly. It's just having fun and playing and writing and trying out things, which I just love. I wouldn't want to do anything else, I don't think.
No. In an ideal world, where would you like to see OnTheNose Productions going?
Oh, that's a great question. I think for me, because we're going to Edinburgh Fringe, we've been very lucky to, well, hopefully we've jumped on another sort of programme, which is amazing and we're very excited about. So we'll hopefully be doing the full 3 weeks in Edinburgh Fringe next year.
That's exciting.
Yeah, really, really cool. So I'm hoping that from that we can get the people in that we want to get in.
Yes.
So producers, kind of, theatre, owners and stuff like that, or people just in the industry who have kind of
the
power
right
to
contacts and things.
Exactly. Unfortunately, it is who you know, isn't it? A lot of the time.
Sadly so. But actually, if you're there for the whole stint, that gives you much more of an opportunity to
absolutely
build some sort of.
I think that's the thing. When we did the 5 days, by the time the first review came out, that reviewer was in on the first day. The review came out on the 4th day, so we only had 1 day left for us to kind of put the stars up next to the name. Whereas with the 3 weeks, you know, you've got a lot longer to get the ball rolling in terms of marketing, but also in terms of just getting the show out there as well.
Yeah.
But also, luckily, I say hopefully, this program that we might be on is going to cover the sort of PR and marketing for us and do all that for us, which is so
that
lovely.
would be one less job for you to do, because you're
lovely.
Also in the shows. So
yeah, exactly. It's a lot of work. But
it'd be nice for you to go and just actually enjoy just being in the show.
Just perform, yeah. It's been a while since I've been able to do that. But yeah, as well, because they, on this program, they'll obviously have industry people aware of it, which is nice too, because hopefully they'll come and see the work. Good. So I believe we'll have a London run afterwards as well.
Oh my
this is hot
goodness.
tea I'm spilling.
Oh my gosh.
So that will be exciting if that goes ahead. And then again, this is all like not confirmed, but there's also the opportunity potentially to do a kind of mini tour of some very kind of like not pop-up theatre, but kind of like smaller theatres kind of around the country, which would be really exciting if that happens as well. All dependent on if this programme does in fact exist, which hopefully we will find out about soon.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Oh,
very
well,
exciting.
they're all really exciting possibilities that have come from just doing like an hour uni sketch.
No, literally,
you know?
that is exactly how it started, and it's kind of crazy to think now that we're actually, this is where we are, and you know where we could be in like another 2 years time. Like it's, you know, wild.
I always think that about Mischief Theatre.
Oh god, yeah,
because they're just massive now.
They're huge,
but they are also. It's always, well, what are you doing next? And obviously now they've got another one coming out soon. They're doing a musical next, I think, as well. Yes, they are.
Thespians, I think.
That's what it's called. I was thinking, I remember what the poster looks like.
Yeah, it's gonna be so interesting. I'm so excited to see it.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see Spies?
Yes.
Was it good? I didn't see
that. Was very good. Very slapstick, Faulty Towers-esque, but that's nice. Their sort of that's what they do. Yeah. And they also did Grown Ups. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see Grown Ups either. Yeah. I heard that was
really good. Yeah. But they got to play different. They were children, like baby children in a nursery. Then they were secondary school children, and then they were adults. That's great. It's just really creative.
Yeah. So sorry.
She's just in demand.
Just Brighton Fringe.
Oh my god. Actually, oh my god.
Emailing you.
It's Hollywood. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I gotta go.
Steven Spielberg.
Oh my god. Sorry, you want to put Manifest on? Okay, fine. What advice would you give to anyone thinking of creating their own work?
Do it. Trust yourself.
Have
fun. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. No, I think as long as you're having fun with it, and as long as you continue to feel passionate about it, then that's what matters. Yeah. And I think it will be hard, it is difficult, and you do get in your own head, because you know it's a lot to think about and process, and to trust yourself and to trust your own ideas. But it's hard because it's one of those things where you got to get out the tunnel to see the light. That's not the phrase at all, but I've twisted it to make it make sense for this
she's
context.
A philosopher.
Yeah. But you've just got to keep going.
And it's really brave to share your work with other people.
God, yeah.
It's such a personal thing, you're writing.
I think that's the thing as well, is that the more you can share it, the more you can be vulnerable with stuff, the quicker you're going to find what works. Yeah. And also the quicker you're going to find what doesn't work. And that's also nothing to be scared of. I think that is a good thing. To find the stuff that does not work is...
you're allowed to go wrong. It's fine.
Absolutely. It's almost sometimes better to go wrong, because then you can go in the complete opposite direction and suddenly you found it. That did happen to us. We went in a totally different direction for Manifest. We went down a sort of very, what's the word, kind of innuendo route. And it just wasn't right. It didn't land the way we wanted it to land. We had lots of people go, "This isn't very you," and we were like, "No, you're so right." And then the next draft was like basically ready. It was it went from complete 180, and that was it. So trust yourself and trust the people that you trust.
Yeah.
So to give you the truth about how they feel about your work and if it is what it needs to be.
And if you have an idea that you know is a good idea, you just have to just stick it out for the long game. Like, it's not an overnight process. Like,
God,
when I was going to say, when were you at uni? We're going to give away how old you are. But
this is traumatic. We graduated in, oh my gosh, was it 2023? I want to say 2023.
So in theory, then 3 years later will be when you're putting on Manifest at Edinburgh Fringe.
But so
you've been a company for 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is your second show that you're taking to the Fringe. Like, it's not been like, right, every 6 months, we're going to churn out something else.
I think that's the thing as well. Like, the first show, obviously, we wrote for the first time in 3 to 6 weeks, whatever it was, and then rewrote it for probably a year. Manifest, we've been writing for 2 years now, 2.5 maybe, actually, coming up.
But it feels like a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, when I say rewrite, it's not like I'm not changing the entire thing. It's just, changing bits here and there, but it's, it's still a work in progress. And I think allow yourself that time to change bits here and there as well. Even, if you're 5 years down the line with a project and you're like, you know what?
Actually, we put that song in Ashley.
Yeah,
it's such a shit. We just take it out.
Need something else here. That's fine as well. Keep things fresh.
Well, thank you so much, Maddie.
Thank you
for allowing me into your home. We didn't even open the biscuits. This
I know.
Terrible work on our behalf.
I didn't want to be dripping crumbs all over your microphone.
Crumble. But it's been a hoot. I hope you found something interesting in that. If you're still listening, if you're not listening. Bye. Bum, 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 bum. Maddie Bell, everybody, from OnTheNose Productions. Wasn't she fun? So you can follow OnTheNose Productions on Instagram at OnTheNose Productions, or head to their website, onthenoseproductions.co.uk. See if you can get tickets to Manifest and see what they're up to before they take you to the Fringe and soar into the heights. You can follow The Theatre Mum on Instagram also, at The Theatre Mum. If you enjoyed this episode, please do like and subscribe to the podcast so you can find out when new episodes come out. And leave us a review. Apparently it's really good for boosting up the podcast so it gets heard by more people, because we're just here to help people feel nice about themselves, really. That's really my plan with it. So please do. If you didn't like it, just don't bother leaving a review. Thanks. You can just move on. I presume you would have already clicked off of this if you weren't interested. So, but otherwise, thanks so much for joining us. And from one creative to another, break a leg, guys. Bum, 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 bum.